One.
Our project is on women's rights, and it's by me, Andrada, and Daniela. At the bottom, you can see there's a load of signs. This one, especially, is Unseen. Unseen is an NGO that actually has portrayed different ways of how to stop sex trafficking with ladies, especially. We've used this one as our main one because all our research and all our sources are from there. These little signs are what sponsor Unseen, so one you realise is probably the lottery funded. We hope you understand the importance about sex trafficking, and we hope you enjoy it.
When we have been introduced to this project, we knew we wanted to base our idea around human rights and especially women's rights, but we were really not sure which area we should cover because there are so many aspects that build up women's rights. So doing a bit more research, we came across sex slavery, which has really captured our attention as so many women are trafficked from Europe, especially into the UK, and the numbers were rather shocking, so we thought that exploring this idea even further would be quite a good idea. So what we are doing is we are trying to actually bring this issue up and actually raise awareness more than it is actually portrayed out there, because whenever something happens and the audience is aware of it, it's been made aware by having it as a frontline issue for a few days or for a few weeks, but then the issue is forgotten. So we really believe that should really be emphasised a lot more in order to have something done about it. So we started looking at what can we really do in order to at least reduce, if not prevent, that sex slavery from happening.
Our target audience is, first of all, the government. The reason why it's the government is because we think the governments make the laws, and if they have more tough rules about sex trafficking, it can be stopped. We haven't got only one target audience, we've got quite a variety of them because there's different reasons why we've got them. The second one would be the local communities. The reason why that is because the local community usually is the one that creates awareness about any topic. Men, you can see in the bracket that it says 16 plus. The reason why it says that is because from our research we found out that the age that mostly the men that are involved in sex trafficking are usually 16 plus. We want them to know how important it is about sex trafficking and personal lives, and if they've got a negative impact from someone or they know from anyone, then they can obviously say it. The next one is young women from the age of 10. We've said young women from the age of 10 once again because of our research that we've had, and we've involved it around thinking about money because usually young women are really the target because they just think about the money but they don't know what problems they can be put into or that can be caused with this specific topic. Fathers, as myself, I'm quite close to my father instead of my mother, and daughters always would run to the father instead of the mother maybe to have support. So it's always that the father should know about this in case he finds out or sees anything that's dodgy on her phone or anything like that, where he can go support her and not actually maybe chuck her out the house or say look what you've done and put a negative impact where it goes worse. Lastly, it's the ethnicity and gender. This can happen to anyone in any age, any colour, any race, any religion. So we don't have a specific ethnicity or gender.
For primary research, we interviewed a range of people who had different opinions on sex trafficking, but we found the most interesting interviewee being Corey, and we asked him, do you think that girls who do it voluntarily are disgusting, or could there be a reason behind it? He said that there could be a reason behind it. He said that if you're in trouble in terms of money and your education isn't that good, then it would make sense to go there and that could be a good enough reason. I also did some research. So the websites used were Globe Giving, and Slavery Now, and Walkfree.org. And the types of things that we found that could prevent sex trafficking were things like reporting anything suspicious, investigations from the police, and fundraisers, so things like that.
While I was doing secondary research, I came across some shocking statistics such as children who are as young as 1 from the UK, when they go on a European holiday, they have a 1 in a third chance of being forced into sex slavery. An example of this was Megan, who went to Greece and was with her online boyfriend, who then forced her into sex slavery. Now 20, she states that the lowest point in that career was when she was raped by 110 men in a single day, each paying £15 to spend 5 minutes with her. Most of this money went to her boyfriend. And also, more than 150 sex workers have been murdered in Britain since the 1900s.
For our radio advert, we briefly covered the idea between ourselves. We said we wanted to focus on that a bit more afterwards, but what we did come up with is maybe kind of trying to act up a scene of someone being sexually abused and someone, of course, trying to give help on the other side of the call. I think we are going to look at that in a bit more depth as we go along, because we started discussing and we kind of like changed ideas a little bit. So yeah, but it's still aimed at the same target that Harmy was just talking about, and we want this to again raise awareness and make people aware of the importance of this cause especially.
I was in charge of making the poster, so this is a poster that I created on Photoshop. The way that I did this was taking 4 different pictures of 4 different women and taking certain features from their face and putting it together to make a whole face. The message from our campaign is: a woman is trafficked every 30 seconds, that's 2,880 in a day, yet we may never hear their story. The way that I made this was making the words get bigger and bigger the more important that they got, such as 30 seconds, 2,880 and never, in order to emphasize how severe this issue is in the UK. Also, I've included the charity Unseen's contact information at the bottom so that the audience could contact them if needed.
There's one video that has to be shown.